Hello everyone, HighlyAdequate here, coming today to talk to you about the Pocket DS RDA by Crafter's Den. Crafter's Den is, they make some high quality vaping equipment out of Malaysia. So let's open the box. It's very nicely presented, and let's show you guys what you came here to see with. So as you see, we have the RDA itself, which we'll get to in a minute, and we have some spares. We got some post screws, some O-rings, and it comes installed with the standard 510 pin, but it has a BF pin in the bag, which I already threw in. Alright, so we'll start at the bottom. 22 millimeter atomizer, brushed, grade 316 stainless steel. I put the BF pin in already. It uses kind of a weird, you can install it with a flathead screwdriver, or if you have a little SGA 510 adapter. I mean, not the 510 little screw-in thingy. That's what I use to do this. So very nicely machined. You see Pocket right there, serial number, your pin, not super protrudy, but it works. I would have liked to see it a little bit longer, but it's fine. Threads are very nice on it, albeit a little bit sharp. So we go on to the top cap. Yeah, it looks kind of familiar, but it's got a little milling in there all the way around the RDA. Airflow, generally small. It's going to give you a restricted lung. Your drip tip, it's a little bit small, the drip tip. I believe it's milled Delrin. So let's open it up and see what we're working with under the hood. Very snappy O-rings. You can see the top, it's not like coned or anything like that, it's just your normal milling. Very nice. 510 drip tip. Now the deck might look kind of familiar to you guys if you're watching this video. It uses this I don't know what to call it, I guess side directed air. That it's a single coil atomizer, although you probably could put duals in it. But the airflow is directed to hit your coil head on. You got your O-rings. Again, your post directed air. Positive block here. And you got your fasteners. Phillips head. They trap the coil fairly well. A little bit easier to install than other atomizers that use this kind of airflow. I guess the Phillips is just to further differentiate itself from the other atomizer. And I'll be honest with you, there are a lot of these style of side-directed airflow atomizers coming out. Obviously, the Narda was the first one I was aware of. You've got the Gambit. What is it? Hellfire has one coming out. This one is different enough. The Hadley, of course, as well, that they're all using that kind of airflow. There is a big improvement here. You're able to mount your coils so that, obviously I don't have it built in, but you're able to mount your coils like that, you know, so the airflow hits the coil first and not the cotton. Other atomizers are kind of at a 45-degree angle, so it's not ideal. And it does make a noticeable difference for me. I'm not thrilled with how this is, you know, how these posts are put out here. But it does make it fairly easy enough, you know, to build. easier to trap than other atomizers. I kind of put my leads in right there, and yeah, I nailed the first build in it. So let's talk about, I guess, the flavor I get out of this atomizer, mounting your coils, all that. Pretty simple. You can see the airflow is fairly high off the bottom of the deck. Gives you fairly large juice well. Nailed my first build in it. It takes 2.5. I tried a 2.5 and then I tried a 3. The 3 with brown wire. It'll handle your Claptons, whatever you want to put in it. It's a little bit, fairly reduced chamber, so you won't have a problem getting a nice warm vape. Another thing I think that would probably work fairly well, you could probably put vertical coils in there. I kind of want to try that after I do this video with you guys. But yeah, fairly simple to build. Of course, once you look through here, you're going to want to have your coil be able to see at least the bottom half of your coil, and make sure you can see the coil through here. And other than that, it's perfect. Fairly versatile. It's I couldn't see myself building anything below 0.2 on this one, because it can get a little warm. So let's get into the pros of this atomizer, what I like about it. First of all, very good flavor. If you want to compare it to other atomizers that use a sec, I think it's just as good, if not a bit better, because of course the air is hitting your coil first. The draw is pretty good, restricted lung. Build quality is very good. I'll be honest with you, a lot of people have tried to make atomizers similar to this one and similar to the Narda, but they always find a way to screw it up, at least on the build quality or the flavor or something else. So this is done very well. Again, it's fairly new. Only had it for maybe about 3-4 days now. Very well machined, good build quality. I kind of like the looks of this atomizer. Of course that's subjective, but it looks very nice with that milled ring on there. The deck layout, again, you can't go wrong with this side directed airflow. Really good way to focus your air and make sure it's hitting your coil right where you want it to. So it's a good deck layout overall. Let's talk about some of the things I don't like, or some things I would perhaps change. Well, I guess the obvious thing for me, that thing I would change is I would like to see some kind of clamps instead of the your screws. I just think that makes installing the coil a little bit easier, but this gives you a very secure trap with your Phillips fasteners. The cons, another con I have, the drip tip supplied, it's very nice, it's comfortable and all that. It's a little bit short. So, if you're having your Claptons or whatever, you might want to change out this drip tip. Of course, if you have this atomizer, you probably have a ton of drip tips, so that's not a huge deal. Another thing, similar to other atomizers, the airflow is just a tiny bit smaller than the Narda. I feel like this helps, these little cutouts help the airflow a little bit, but it's still gonna, some people complain about the Narda whistling, and I don't think this is too different. Let me, of course, no coil in there, so take that for what it's worth, but let me let you guys hear it real quick. So you do got a little bit of turbulence, a little bit of the whistle, like you guys like to call it, but that doesn't bother me. The flavor you get, it's definitely worth it. That's a small price to pay, in my opinion, for having a good quality atomizer like this. And I guess, I don't know, it's up to you about, you know, if you're into this, excuse me, there we go. If you like the style of deck, some people are, you know, diehard supporters of a certain manufacturer, so that might be something that's a factor to you. So, oh, and the final thing, it's not, again, not a huge deal. Some of the stuff is a little bit sharp on the inside, but to be honest with you, when are you going to be messing with it too much? So I would have liked to see some of the edges. It's on the cap, it's very good. Nothing is sharp on the cap or anything else. I would like to see the 510 a little bit longer, but that's fine. Alright, so let's talk about it. Flavor, you know, dude, how can I say this? I think they took, if you guys are familiar with the Narmon's Narda, if you're watching this video, I think they took the Narda and made a logical improvement on that. You know, if you like that, but the only thing I really had a complaint with the Narda, I guess apart from this whistling, would be that sometimes it hits the cotton first on your build, and it can be a little bit harder to install. That deck layout, very logical. I think it's an improvement. So would I buy another? Yeah, hell yeah, I would. I'm very been impressed. A lot of people can make the style of atomizer, but I haven't found one that's as good as the original. This one I think is a slight improvement over the original. So I wouldn't have any hesitations with buying another. So I'm gonna call this thing, you guessed it, highly adequate. Again, it's up to you. It might be somewhat controversial, the deck, the design, all that. But I know there's also a fair amount of you that cannot have either been banned or they can't find someone to vat you in to the non-mods group. So I think this is more than a decent substitute, and I think it's I like it better, to be honest with you. So take that for what it's worth. Of course, everyone's tastes are subjective. I believe the Crafters Den group is open. So I'll link that in the description. I didn't mention I forgot to mention the price on this, but $95 US, plus shipping from Malaysia. So I think fairly competitively priced. I feel like you're getting a good value here. It seems like these days atomizers are either made in China for anywhere from the $50 to $70 range. So I think getting a very nicely finished atomizer for just a couple bucks more. I don't think you're gonna, if you get this atomizer, I don't think you're gonna be disappointed with it, saying, man, I feel like I've been ripped off or anything like that. So I think this will catch a following pretty fairly soon. People are gonna say what they're gonna say, but I think it's an improvement. So I would definitely suggest you keep an eye out, looking out for this atomizer, because I think the flavor is just that good that you don't want to miss out. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys can get over the design of this a little bit. Unfortunately, we live in we have a hobby in which there is not a whole lot of hard patents. So you're gonna see stuff like this. People, I don't want to say stealing, but improving off of others' designs. And it vapes pretty damn well. So sorry, a little bit jumbled this morning. Haven't had coffee yet, so forgive me about that, and I hope you guys have a more than okay rest of your day.